We'll start with our prayer. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sahana Vavatu Sahanu Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Asato ma sadgamaya तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय आविराविर्मयेधि. ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ. अखण्डं सच्चिदानन्दम् अवाङ्मनसगोचरम् आत्मानम् अखिलाधारम् आश्रयेभीष्टसिद्धये. Let we be protected, let we be nourished. Let we strive with energy and vigor. Let our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment and not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not death. Let the self-manifest Atman grow in me. Om peace, peace, peace. I take refuge in the self, the indivisible, the existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute, beyond the reach of words and thought, and the substratum of all, for the attainment of my cherished desire. So we are studying Vedantasara by Sadananda Yogindra. And we have completed the preliminaries. What are the preliminaries? The preliminaries are Vishaya, Adhikari, Vishaya, Sambandha, Prayojan. Adhikari means who can study this. For anything, for any course, there must be some people, some students who are qualified for the study. So if someone wants to study medicine, so there should be some qualification for that. If someone wants to study engineering, there should be some qualification. Even for a job, there must be a qualification. So who is that qualified person who can study? And we have discussed that those who want to know the real nature of one's own self or the real nature of this world, and he is sincere, he is a seeker, he can study this. But only thing, he should be pure in heart. He is really seeking and sincere. And what is the subject matter? Here subject matter is truth. Truth that is hidden within us, that is hidden in this manifested world. Then sambandha, what is the relationship with this? I am uttering few words. Those words have meanings. And those meanings are deriving, those words are deriving some meaning. So here also, this text has got direct relevance with the topic, the subject matter. And then, what is the purpose? What is the prayojana? What is the goal, why we should study. Why we study? Because we have misunderstanding or confusion about ourselves. Sometimes we think we are bodies, sometimes we think that we are minds, and sometimes we also think that we are beyond body-mind complex. So that is why it should be clear. What is this world? What am I? And what is that truth hidden within me? So that's why that's the purpose. So what are those? The competency of the student, then the subject matter, and then its connection to the book, and the necessity of or for its study. So these are 4 preliminaries that we have covered. Now, who is Adhikari? That also we have covered. But here, who has performed his daily duties, who has not indulged in negative duties or negative work or something negative which will hinder his progress, like stealing or murdering or like that. And who has cleansed his or her heart, and who is pure enough, nirgata nikhil kalmashetaya. How here? Nitya naimittika prashchitta upasana karnushthanena. So, daily duties, then occasional duties. What are to be done? He has done this. Upasana, daily worship or daily remembrance of God, sitting near God. And his heart is cleansed. Nirgata nikhil kalmashataya. Nitanta nirmala shanta. So here, see, generally we don't ask such question. Why? We are engrossed in the world so much. In eating, drinking, cooking, going here, there, and in politics. It is all engrossing. And war. So our mind is so engrossed that we have hardly any time for such questions. And the main thing, what he said, that he should have 4 sadhana. So what is, the purpose of this? Etesham nityadinam buddhi shuddhi param prayojanam. So the main purpose of this is purity of heart. Prayojanam upasananam tu chittaikagram. Why? The mind should be one-pointed. If mind is engaged in so many things, where to go, what to eat, what to perform, how much money you have to earn, so mind cannot concentrate. Mind is engaged in other things which are not related to this truth. Therefore, that those situations should go. So buddhi shuddhi means purity of heart. Tametam atmanam vedanubachanena brahmana vividishanti yajnena tapasa kalmasham hanti. So one should go do some penance. Penance means leaving other things aside. One should concentrate in this. Then the purity of heart is attained. Sri Ramakrishna said that one should weep in search of God. First he said that he should find time, solitary place, and totally dedicated that time for God. And then also he added that he must have good company, pure company, sadhu sangha. And third, he should weep for God. Weep means seeking. If one can weep for God, then the mud over the needle will be washed away. And when that is washed away, God, who is magnet, will attract that needle towards him. So that is why pure heart is necessary. Okay, well, I forgot to, we start then. Okay, we'll read from the complete works of Swami Vivekananda. Go ahead. I forget reading. David?
Yes, Swami.
Yeah, go ahead.
To every man this is taught. Thou art one with this universal being, and as such, every soul that exists is your soul, and every body that exists is your body. And in hurting anyone, you hurt yourself. In loving anyone, you love yourself. As soon as a current of hatred is thrown outside, whomsoever else it hurts, it also hurts yourself. And if love comes out from you, it is bound to come back to you. For I am the universe. This universe is my body. I am the infinite, only I'm not conscious of it now. But I am struggling to get this consciousness of the infinite, and perfection will be reached when full consciousness of this infinite comes.
Yeah, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Yomam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mai pashyati. He who sees me everywhere, and everything in me. I do not destroy him, neither he destroys me. Or I do not deny him, neither he denies me. So that means what? This world that we see, actually our projection. If I hate, then I am hating myself. How we know that it is our projection? In a dream, whatever we dream, it is our projection. The dreamer and also dream, whatever it is our projection. Similarly, this world. It's easier to say this, but when it comes to practice, it is challenge, no doubt about it. It is a challenge. Even we have to love the criminal. We have to love even the warmongers, the worst of enemies, and the best of incarnation. So this is real challenge. But we have to understand that whatever we see, hear, or perceive in this world, it is my projection. So if hatred is there within, hatred will come back. But if we cultivate love, love will come back. Means it is love there. The love will be cultivated. Yes.
Another peculiar idea of the Vedanta is that we must allow this infinite variation in religious thought and not try to bring everybody to the same opinion, because the goal is the same. As the Vedanta says in his poetical language, as so many rivers having their sources in different mountains roll down, crooked or straight, and at last come into the ocean, so all these various creeds and religions, taking their start from different standpoints and running through crooked or straight courses, at last come unto thee.
Yeah. So here we see different religions. And what is hatred today? In the Middle East, we can see the war is going on. It is various religious faith. And not only in the middle, everywhere. Though we know that God has created everything, why not then He has created criminals also? As Sri Ramakrishna said, God has created the fruits, various kinds of fruits, which are sweet and very nice, and also poisonous herbs. So everything is created by Him. Only we need to discriminate We have to find out whatever is helpful to us, but not to hate. If we hate ourselves because it is our projection. So, not to hate, how not to hate? To see or to know that all paths lead to the same goal. As all paths lead to the downtown. Similar. Some may a little more time, doesn't matter. But all will lead to the same goal. Yes.
As a manifestation of that, we find that this most ancient philosophy has, through its influence, directly inspired Buddhism, the first missionary religion of the world, and indirectly it has also influenced Christianity through the Alexandrians, the Gnostics, and the European philosophers of the Middle Ages. And later, influencing German thought, it has produced almost a revolution in the regions of philosophy and psychology. Yet all this massive influence has been given to the world almost unperceived. As the gentle falling of the dew at night brings support to all vegetable life, so, slowly and imperceptibly, this divine philosophy has been spread through the world for the good of mankind. No march of armies has been used to preach this religion. In Buddhism, one of the most missionary religions of the world, we find inscriptions remaining of the great emperor Ashoka, recording how missionaries were sent to Alexandria, to Antioch, to Persia, to China, and to various other countries of the then civilized world. 300 years before Christ, instructions were given them not to revile other religions. The basis of all religions is the same. Wherever they are, try to help them all you can, teach them all you can, but do not try to injure them.
Yeah. So injuring is not helpful. See, God creates all these things. If even the ruffians are not created, or the villains are not created, a drama is nothing. It's like a insipid. Nobody will go to see that drama or say cinema. There must be villain very, very intelligent, almost equal to the hero. And he goes and fights. Then only people go to cinema hall. So this creation is also like that. There will be this manifestation. It's the manifestation of same energy. So, injuring each other, that is not the way. Then how to respond? Whatever work we have, whatever duties we have, that we have to perform. If a person is a soldier, he has to fight. Like Arjuna. Sri Krishna imparted knowledge to Arjuna to fight. So one has to fight. That is his duty. But not to hate. This is very difficult. How to fight without hating? Karmanya karmayah pashet akarmani cha karmayah sabuddhiman manusheshu sayukta krishna karmakrit. He performs for the sake of performance of duty. So, it is difficult, no doubt. But suppose you want to buy a diamond. Can you just pay farthing and maybe a few cents and buy a diamond? No. You have to pay through your nose. You have to pay heavily, maybe a fortune. Then only you can get a diamond. So this realization of self is not easy. One has to pay for it. And that is why while fighting, one should not hate. How it is possible? It is possible. It is possible only those who are advanced can perform that. But for us, we are not fighting, therefore this is easier for us. We are not soldiers. At least we pray for others. We should not hate. Because hatred will increase hatred. So let us Let us have this. It is difficult, no doubt, but we can pray for others. Even we can pray to God that it is because of my understanding I see this difference. Anyway, we go ahead.
Thus, in India, there never was any religious persecution by the Hindus, but only that wonderful reverence, which they have for all the religions of the world. They sheltered a portion of the Hebrews when they were driven out of their own country, and the Malabar Jews remain as a result. They received at another time the remnant of the Persians when they were almost annihilated, and they remain to this day as a part of us and loved by us as the modern Parsis of Bombay. There were Christians who claimed to have come with St. Thomas, the disciple of Christ, and they were allowed to settle in India and hold their own opinions, and a colony of them is even now in existence in India. And this spirit of toleration has not died out. It will not and cannot die there.
And its latest was Buddhists when they were driven from Tibet. They took shelter in India, and still they are there. And what was the price that India has to pay? When invaders came, first Muslim invaders, so India had to pay the destruction of temples, of various deities who were very dear to Indians. And almost the culture was gone. But there is a point. The Indian or Hindu God is not in the statue, that is in the self. Only it is projected in the statue and it is worshipped. And Veda is very difficult to even decipher. So people could not understand where the life force is dwelling. They destructed temples, innumerous, and killed millions, and plundered almost everything. After Islam then came the colonizers, Christian colonizers. But India survived. Why? Because they had no hatred. And later Swami Vivekananda said, if survival of the fittest is the sign and symptoms of power, then India is the most powerful country. Why? Because it survived all the vicissitude of circumstances, and still it gave the best, that is spirituality, to the world. Without hatred, even today, that is happening. So, without hating, one can survive. India is the example. Here in America, in Africa, in Australia, in all other places, the local culture almost died. Little remnant here and there. Somehow, a little is existing in South America also. But India survived. It is because it did not hate. It held its highest value in the core of their heart. Yes.
This is one of the great lessons that the Vedanta has to teach. Knowing that, consciously or unconsciously, we are struggling to reach the same goal, why should we be impatient? If one man is slower than another, we need not be impatient. We need not curse him or revile him. When our eyes are opened and the heart is purified, the work of the same divine influence, the unfolding of the same divinity in every human heart, will become manifest, and then alone we shall be in a position to claim the brotherhood of man.
So this is the main thing, brotherhood of man, that we are to cultivate. Power lies there. Nobody can destroy you if you can find this. And later also we'll find we are searching that common thread on which everything survives. Everything survives. So that common thread to be discovered. Yes.
When a man has reached the highest, when he sees neither man nor woman, neither sect, nor creed, nor color, nor birth, nor any of these differentiations, but goes beyond and finds that divinity which is the real man behind every human being, then alone he has reached the universal brotherhood, and that man alone is a Vedantist. Such are some of the practical historical results of the Vedanta.
Yeah. So Vedanta, since India discovered and practiced Vedanta, so we find the fruits manifested there. What is the purpose? So here, what we are going to talk about, how to get that truth that is within us, that is within this world, that is the only basis on which everything survives, or everything survives. So that is what, and how to get it. If we have something, some good work, then we can go to Pitriloka. Karmana Pitriloka, Vidya Devaloka. And by cultivating some principles, we can go to the manifested world of that principle. Say if a scientist is meditating or concentrating on science principle, so he naturally will go there. Go there means he'll attain that. But here we are not targeting that one. We are targeting the truth that is hidden within us. And that truth that is hidden within this manifested world. So how to get it? Now let us go to that. Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivek. So what are those? Always to discriminate. What is Nitya Vastu? And what is Anitya? What is Nitya? That means which is permanent, which is not transitory. The means of attainment of knowledge are discrimination between things permanent and transient. So discrimination means discerning. This is eternal, it is not. We do all the time. When we go for shopping, we all the time select what is best for me, what is vegan or what is organic and what is less costly. So this way we discriminate. Similarly, we are to find out in the rubble what is useful for us. So even a hating enemy has got something that is, because it is me that who is hating me. So this way we have to find that this is also manifestation of the same divinity. So Nitya Vastu, Nitya means eternal and permanent, and Anitya Vastu means transient. So this body is transient. It will not remain forever. Mind also keeps on changing. What is that behind mind and body? That we are seeking. So, and then Iha Mutra Phala Bhog Virag. Here, enjoyment of, everybody is praising you, everybody, seconds you, supports you. No. So, that means enjoyment of support from people, that is also not required. Rather, one should seek that truth than the support from others. So we must have a purpose of life. To attain that, whatever sacrifice that demands, to get that should be accepted. And it's not for enjoyment here or hereafter. So, Iha Mutra Phala Bhog Virag. Shamadamadi Shat Sampatti, and Shamadama Uparati Titiksha Shraddha Samadhan. So 6 qualities. I will go one by one. In Vivek Chudamani also it is said, Ado Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha Pariganyate. Ihamutra Phalabhog Viraga Tadantaram. So first we have to find out what is Nitya Vastu. Then I am not for enjoyment here or hereafter. Because if I am for enjoyment, then I am caught here. If you are driving, you should be detached. If you are caught somewhere, then you will be there. You cannot reach downtown where you wanted to go. Or you wanted to come to Vedanta society. If you are stuck somewhere, you cannot. So, Ihamutra, follow Bhoga Viraga. So that renunciation should be there. Again, renunciation is not a alien word. Rather, it is also, we do. Whatever is not good for us, we discard. So this is natural. It is not that something unusual. Then, Shamadamadi Shat Sampatti. That means mind should be calm, senses, external senses should be tamed, and also withdrawal from the objects. Why it is required? Then only one can orient one's own self. And then only one can attain that. Shamadama upara titiksha. Sometimes people will torment you. And Sri Ramakrishna said, see, it is not easy. And he gave example that old rishis, they used to meditate in a forest where various kinds of beasts, tigers, bear, and so many creatures were there, but they were calm and quiet. So this way, even Buddha, when Angulimal approached him, but he was calm and quiet. And Angulimal fell at his feet, though he wanted to kill him. So, when the mind is calm, then everything becomes calm and quiet. So, mind and the senses. Because indulgence in worldly things through senses, it's a bondage. One cannot go beyond. And then uparati, that means you withdraw from this. And we withdraw every day. See, in our deep sleep, what we do? We withdraw from outer objects. That is why we can sleep. Otherwise, if you are thinking, I have so much of money in bank and I have this property, that property, you cannot sleep. You'll be insane. So, withdrawal from the objects of the world. And then, forbearance from all difficult situations. And Shamadama Uparati Titiksha Shraddha. One should have one-pointed devotion for this. Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhya Avadharan. That means what Shastra is saying is right. It is true. What Guru has said, it is right and true. I must pursue this. This faith, burning faith should be there. And mumukshutva, that I don't want this bondage. Enough of this. I don't want this bondage anymore. So these are 6 qualities and mumukshutva. So now what is nitya vastu vivekas tavat brahmaiva nityam vastu. God alone is real. This world is temporary. Even Sri Ramakrishna, even if you read Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, almost everywhere it is God alone is real. All other are transient. And many times it is said illusory. See, like before coming here, nobody was here. And after a certain time, nobody will be here. So this is temporary. It comes and goes away. Whatever happens here It is only temporary. So, nitya nitya vastu vivek. Tavat brahmaiva nityam vastu. What is Brahman? These are changing, but you are not changing. When you are witnessing this world, you are there. And then world. Then you go to sleep, this world disappears, but then another world comes up. But you are there. You cannot tell me that I dreamt, but I was not there. It's not possible because you must be there to dream, to witness your dream. Even sometimes when you have no dream, that time also you are there. There are no objects. And the fourth, that means all encompassing, it is that same truth. So, Brahmaiva nityam vastu, that which remains all the time, is nitya vastu. All other things are temporary. Tato anyat akhilam anityam iti vivechanam. Discrimination between things permanent and transient. This consists of the discrimination that Brahman alone is the permanent substance, and that all beings other than it are transient. Whatever we project, we absorb. You project your dream, you absorb. This also, when you go to sleep, you absorb. So this is temporary. But behind this, you are permanent. So now we go to the next. So already we have done, but these are the central point. Without this, we cannot proceed. Aihikanam strak chandana vanitadi vishaya bhoganam karmajanyataya nityatvavat amushmikanam apyamritadi vishaya bhoganam anityataya tebhyo nitaram virati yahamutra phalabhog viraga. That means whatever comes and attracts you, that is not real. What is that? The objects of enjoyment hereafter, such as immortality. Immortality means temporary immortality, not permanent. So like, for eternity you have to go to heaven and enjoy senses. That's also not desired. And such as immortality, etc., being as transitory as the enjoyment of such earthly objects as a garland of flowers. That means people are honoring you. And people want that, name and fame. That's why they are trying so much. They want to have more money so that people seek his help. And political goal, that's also people will support him. So, these are enjoyment of such earthly objects as garland of flowers, sandal paste, and sex pleasures, which are transitory, being results of action, as utter disregard for all of them is renunciation of the enjoyment of fruits of action in this world and hereafter. Now, should we be stoned in this world? Not really. Rather, we should see the reality and follow what is permanent. Why it is so? If you are seeking enjoyment here, you will be bound here. Now choice is up to you. If you want to be bound here, go on, enjoy these things. But if you really are seeking the real truth, then this is the price that you are to pay. We should not be a stone like Yumam Pashat Sarvatram. That means he who sees me everywhere. We have to see God everywhere. Whatever we do, we have to deify that action. But if you are concerned about your own enjoyment, you will be deviating from this situation. So that is why it is important. Now we go to Shamadamadi Shatsampati. Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan. Sama, etc. comprise sama or the restraining of the ongoing mental propensities. That mental propensity, mind is, sometimes goes for this and that. I want to do this, I want to. See, for limited purpose is not harmful. But if it is too big to perform or to achieve, that will bind us. So, restraint of the inner senses. Brahma satyam jagan mithyeti evam rupa vinishya soyam nityanitya vastu viveka samudaritam. Tad vairagyam jihasa ya darshan sravanadi. That means he has so much of renunciation that whatever is sight or seen, whatever is seen or heard, he is not interested because he wants to discover the truth. Even scientists do the same thing. If scientists are concentrating, they don't hear, say, music or some entertaining words, they don't hear. And darshan, sravana, or they don't see. They're totally poised for that, to discover that truth. So here also same thing. The jihasa ya darshan sravana adivhi dehadi brahma paryante anitya bhogvastini. Whatever is temporary, whatever is transient, he is not interested. Now, virajya vishaya vratat dosha drishtya muhurmuhu. How to get rid of this attraction of senses and outgoing mind? So one should see the fault that lies there. If the mind wants to enjoy, say, money or sense enjoyment, then one has to see that it is temporary. Anitya. Virajya vishaya bratat dosha drishtya muhula. What are 4 things that Gita said? Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, dukkha doshanu darshanam. That this body has got, it has birth, it has death, it has old age, and it has disease. Therefore, it is temporary. So this way one should discriminate. So virajya vishaya bratat, that means the attraction for the senses. One has to see the fault line there, the defect in those things. And all the time he is totally poised for his own goal. Swalakshe niyata avastha manasaha shamostat. When one does it through mind, then that is called shama. Shamastavat sravanadi vyatirikta vishayabhya manaso nigraha. So here one thing is permitted. What's that? Like satsang. Here, studying of Vedas, that one should hear. If one says, no, I don't want to hear that also, then it will not help. One has to hear the truth. That's why Sri Ramakrishna said, companionship of sadhus, that means not only monks, good people. Good people. So sadhu sangha. Sri Ramakrishna says sadhu sangha. Sravanadi vishaya vyatirikta. Sravanadi vyatirikta vishayabhyo manaso nigraha. So mind should, maybe outgoing mind, one has to bring it back. So that is why Vivek Chudamani says, Virajya Vishay Bratat. That means not to be tainted by the sense objects and sense attraction. Why? How? That this is not good for me, as we do in shopping mall. It's not healthy. So we'll have whatever is healthy. So one has to think, oh no, it is not healthy. So why should I go for that? And all the time one should be engaged in finding one's own goal. Then comes Dama. Bahyendriyanam tad vyatirikta vishayabhyo nivartanam. Dama is the restraining of the external organs from all objects except that by which one attains the goal of life. So, what is this? Vishayabhya paravat. Like, that's why while meditating we close our eyes. Closing our eyes means restraining our outer senses. We should not hear also. That's why we have one chanting Om, Om, or our mantras. Guru has given a mantra and we have to repeat that mantra so that other noise does not enter to my ears. So when we shut our eyes, that means 80% of outgoing mind is stopped and remaining like 15% by ear. That also can be stopped. And other three are senses, that like smelling, tasting and touching. Because I'm not touching anything or nobody is touching me, so that is easier to stop. But two are very, very important. One is eyes. And second is our ear. If so, little, when you are concentrating, little sound also may disturb you. But one has to discriminate. No, that's not my goal. So, Vishayabhya Paravat. So, one has to bring the mind back to the meditation or meditative object. Says one is meditating on Sri Ramakrishna. So, one should bring the mind back to Sri Ramakrishna. That's why the mantra is very helpful. You have to meditate on the meaning also. Tad japas tadartha bhavanam. You have to think about the meaning of mantra. So that's also very important. Vishayabhya paravartya sthapanam swasva golaki. That means eyes want to go out. So bring it back and put it in its own place. Ears want to hear. So any object, so we have to bring it back. When it is going to any object, the mind should be brought back and put in its own place. Ubhayeshanam indriyanam sa damaha parikirtita. So Ubhayesha means we have two kinds of senses. One is sense organs. One set of organs, sense organs. And another set is the karmendriya, 5 karmendriyas. We have hands to work, we have feet to walk, and then we have bakpani, pada, and then speech, and then organs of evacuation and regeneration. So restraint of all 5 karmendriyas by which we perform action and 5 sense organs by which we perceive this world. So, Ubhayeshanam indriyanam sa damaha parikita. That is dama. And when mind is not depending on outer objects, is called uparati. That means you have stopped your mind, stopped going out through your mind. So nivartitanam etesham tad vyatirikt vishayabhya uparamanam uparatihi athava bhitanam karmanam vidhina parityagaha. So there is another meaning. That means this is for monks. They ritually leave all actions. But it is difficult for ordinary people, even advanced souls. As Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, even sharijyatra pina prasiddhed akarmani. We cannot maintain our body without functioning, without action. So that is why we are to see that whatever we are doing, it should be offered to God. Whatever we hear, whatever we offer as donation or dana, yat karoshi, yadasnasi, whatever we eat, or whatever we offer to God, everything to be done offering to God. Because without work, it is difficult to live in this world. So nivartitanam etesham tad vyatirikt vishayabhya uparatihi athava bhitanam karmanam vidhina parityagaha. Uparati is the essence, cessation. Uparati is the cessation of these external organs. So restrained from the pursuit of objects other than that. That means hearing good thoughts like Vedas or Vedanta, or seeking the help of the Great One. Such work, those are not harmful. As Sri Ramakrishna said, that desire for God is not desire. Like sugar candy is not harmful like sugar. Or saccharine, though it is sweet, tastes sweet, but it's not sugar. And hinche shak shaker moddhe noy. Like a kind of green is not harmful like other greens. So, this good karma is to retain. Other than that, to be abandoned. And the second meaning is, or it may mean the abandonment of prescribed works according to scriptural injunctions. Like we are monks. Some monks, they don't perform anything. But Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda taught us to engage ourselves for teaching, preaching. So he gave a twin goal, Atmano Mokshartham Jagadhitaya cha. It is for one's emancipation and for the good of the world. So they have given, because they are world teacher. And it is, when we perform, we are not performing for others. It's for our own cleansing of our heart. And the second is, if it helps to someone, good. If it does not, good. We are not at fault. So what I am saying, we also perform this, like engaging, say, study of scriptures. Apparently it looks like that we are teaching people. Actually we are not. We are teaching ourselves. That's why it doesn't matter whether somebody is there or not. But if someone is benefited by that, it's okay. Because the other person is also, it's my reflection, my projection. Therefore, if we find, yes, somebody is benefited, it's good. So, Atmana Mokshatam Jagadhitaya cha, for emancipation of one's own self and for the good of the world. So, except that, all other work is to be not shunned. The mind is to be withdrawn. It is not negative, it is positive. Why? To channelize that energy to one goal. Otherwise, it is very difficult to achieve it. Sri Ramakrishna said, you cannot thread a needle if there is little thread or little April, whatever, it is sticking out. So you cannot thread a needle. So the mind should be totally dedicated and given to God. God said, Christ said, I am a jealous God. Jealous means here that your attention should not be divided. It should be one-pointed. Okay, titiksha. Now titiksha comes. After the withdrawal comes titiksha. Here, shitoshna adi dando shaishnuta. It's simple. Like, all the time we are disturbed. Why? Oh, it is too cold. Or hey, I am dying, it is so warm. People are always, when we sit in a car, is it too cold or it is too hot? I said, don't worry, let us go. So, titiksha means sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam. Somebody will maybe blame you, not to get worried. Somebody may beat you even. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam. All the dukkha, that means miseries, to be forbore. One has to forbear all kinds of difficulties. Sri Ramakrishna said, Sha, Sha, Sha. Forbear, forbear, forbear. He who forbears, he remains. Je shoy, she roy. Je nash hoy, tar nash hoy. This in Bengali is very nice. He who forbears, he remains. He, she. He who does not gets destroyed. So, je nash hoy, tar nash hoy. Je shoy, she roy. That's why forbearance is very important. And Mother also said, there is no higher virtue than this forbearance. So forbearance is very important. Why? Because if you don't forbear, then what will happen? Your mind will be engaged in that. And your energy will be dissipated. So that your energy is not dissipated, you have to forbear. As simple as that. So sahanam sarva dukkhana apratikara purvakam, without doing anything. Somebody is doing harm you, doesn't matter. Okay, good. Apratikara purvakam. And chinta vilaparahitam. Oh, what will happen? He has done this, or he insulted me, or he did not even wish me when I wished him or her. See how rude he is. All this like worry, that also engages mind. All these things. And vilap, chinta, worry, vilap. Vilap means all the time we complain, whining. So all kinds of, it is a dissipation of energy, mental energy. So that should be shunned. Chinta vilaparahitam sa titiksha nigadati. So that is titiksha. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam chinta vilaparahitam sa titiksha nigadati. So one should be concentrating only on that subject or whatever is one is pursuing. Others one should see it is dissipation of energy. Now what is Shraddha? That's very, very important. Okay, before that, Tiksha. Nighritasya manasah Shravanadu tad anuguna vishayecha samadhi. So samadhan, samadhi and Shraddha. So samadhana is the constant concentration of the mind, thus restrained on hearing. That means when one has restrained oneself on outgoing hearing, Sravanado, so his energies are not dissipated. Samadhana is the constant concentration of the mind, thus restrained on hearing, etc., of the scriptural passages and other objects that are conducive to these. So, except that one, hearing good thoughts like Omkara, or say like Tattvamasi, the say Mahavakyas. These are allowed, other than that, it is not. So that is Samadhan. What it says here? Sarvada sthapanam buddhe shuddhe brahmani sarvada tat samadhanam ityuktam natu chittasya lalanam. That means totally concentrating on one's own real self and not worried about anything else. So that's pure Brahman, pure self, pure Atman, or pure mind. So there one should concentrate there. So here we have our object of meditation, says Sri Ramakrishna, on whom we are concentrating. That should be there, only that. So sarvada sthapanam buddhi. So mind should be engaged in him. And who is pure Brahman, pure self, mind should be engaged there. Tat samadhanam ityuktam natu chittasya lalanam. Not mental modification for worldly things or going here and there. That's not the thing. Or sentimentalism. That's also another difficulty. The other day, this is general. A lady asked, I feel love. And even it was difficult for her to even say this. So this is, heart wells up. But that's also kind of weakness. One should be strong enough to stop such mental modification. Because these are sentimental or emotion. Emotion to engage with God is good. But emotion, even for no reason, people have emotion. And it is not good. Why? That emotion, today it is engaged with God, but tomorrow that emotion will be with a dog or some other things, or worldly things. So, emotion is not good. Chittasya lalanam. And what one has to understand? Shastrasya, Guru Vakyasya, Satya Buddhi Avadharanam. Whatever scripture says, whatever Guru has said, that's final. If you go on hesitating, you go on selecting, no, not this, not that, you cannot proceed. Like today, Google, whatever Google says, turn left, so you turn left. You turn right, you turn right. You don't question. Though Google may be faulty, but Shastra and Guru Vakya, they are not faulty. So Shastrasya, Guru Vakyasya, Satya Buddhi Avadharanam. It is real truth. Mother said, as Sri Ramakrishna says, mother told to her child, he is your brother. So child knows that 100% he is my brother. He never doubts. So that is the faith, because of that one will reach. Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhi Avadharanam Sasraddha Katita Sadbhir Yaya Vastu Palabhyate. Because of this, one will attain goal. Because you have set your goal, okay, I am going to Vedanta Society, and you programmed your Google and it will guide you. If you follow that, you will reach here. So like that. So these are 4 qualities. Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivek. What is transient, what is permanent, one should have that discernment or discrimination. Second, Ihamutra Phalabhog Virag. That means I am not engaged, or I don't want to enjoy here or hereafter. I have only one goal, and I want to attain that. That means freedom. To attain freedom, we must have 6 qualities. What are those? Restraint of mind, restraint of senses, both the sense organ and also organ of action. And then withdrawal of senses from the objects, and then forbearance from all disturbances, and then believing the words of gurus and the words of Shastra, that it is 100% real. And finally, is all the time one should engage through his intellect to his real self, or the reality that is manifesting in this world in various forms, the reality behind it, that one has to engage. And finally, one should have that desire for freedom. So that is not desire. That will take beyond this bondage. So these are 4 qualifications that one should have for this study. So we'll stop here. I think it is time. We say our prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tatsat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. One thing more, it looks like it is too demanding. But this is scientific analysis of, if you want to have something, this is the way. If a scientist want to achieve something, want to discover something, one has to engage totally for that. Even worldly thing, if a person wants to earn more money, he has to leave other things and concentrate there. And if a person even wants to fall in love, there also he or she forgets other things. So it is not something unusual. Only it is scientifically analyzed that these are the qualities it should be present in the person. So it is not unusual, it is very, very natural. And that is why one should follow this. And it's a scientific study. It's not something, it is too hard. No, it is. This is the way everything works. Is there any question, or I have not asked any question?
Swami?
Yes.
I just had a quick question. About 15 minutes ago, you were talking about the mantra, and I'm assuming everybody listening to you right now is an initiated disciple and got a diksha. My question is that when you get the mantra, there is, a certain word and then a seed mantra as well as the chosen ideal, correct?
Guru has initiated, given a mantra, and then what?
in part of the mantra, if you're repeating the mantra all the time, there's a three parts. It seems like to me, maybe I'm ignorant, but there's like the repetition of the Om part,
Okay.
and then a
Okay.
seed mantra,
I
and then
got
an
it, I think.
image.
I got your question.
Okay.
One thing is repetition. And as I told also, it is in Yoga Sutra, tad japas tad artha bhavanam. We repeat, but it should not be mechanical. We should also contemplate on the meaning of that mantra. Then what will happen? If you concentrating on the meaning of mantra, this world will, you cannot do other things. So what will happen that time? What will happen? Suppose you are working. So let us think that, see, I am speaking. Let me think that I am speaking to myself. I am speaking to God. I am speaking to Brahman. And after work, I offer this to God. So, I am working, but this work will not bind me. Rather, this will clarify my thought process. This is one thing. Then, Omkara. When there is Om, you are reciting Om, A, U, Ma, and nasal sound. Om. Actually, nasal sound and the silence, as Sarvapriyananda also was telling, that all-encompassing silence. Let's say, Om. So, A, U, Ma, and nasal sound, and then silence. So, silence encompasses everything. So, when one is reciting, say at the time of meditation, one should totally be absorbed there. Other times when you are engaged in works and you are reciting mantra, it is not possible that way. So what we have to see, that this world is objectified God. Objectified God. So I am interacting with God. And who is all pervasive? Who is present, on whom everything is being reflected. And then you can drive. See, I am talking. With this understanding, I can talk. So, repetition of mantra, when we are totally concentrating, then you have to withdraw from outer objects. But when you are working, that cannot be done. You cannot drive and think that this world does not exist. Then the truck that is coming, oncoming truck might hit you, or you may hit them.
Yeah.
So that time what we have to think, that this world is reflection of God. So in and through this world, I am interacting with Him. See, I am interacting with my intellect and mind. I am finding words. So let me think that these words are divine. I am talking to divinities. So this way we can deify. Then this work is no more a work, it is worship. Right?
Yes, thank you. I still am struggling trying to understand.
No, it is there. Until or unless we achieve, it is our struggle. If there is no struggle, there is no fun also. If somebody comes, okay, come, I'll drop you at the summit of Everest. It's no fun. You have to go by yourself and face death every moment. Then it is a real challenge, and you have accepted that challenge. So struggle is a must.
Struggle we must.
Yes, struggle we must.
Struggle we must. Okay, thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah, thank you, Jai Ma. Thank you very much. Struggle we must. Eat with it,